Hey everyone, I'm Trevor, and today we're at Disneyland on Tuesday, April 15th. This is the core of spring break, the tail end of spring break, but it's also the week leading up to Easter. So how busy is Easter at Disneyland? Let's go find out. And we're starting right here at Tiana's Bayou Adventure because this is where I happened to be whenever I finished up a previous video, and I just figured it was appropriate. We have a 35-minute wait here at Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I said it was the core of spring break just because my kids are off this week, but it's not really the core. After this week, in fact, spring break will probably be over, which is kind of why I amended that. It's more or less just the final week, but it's Easter, so I feel like a lot of schools are going to be off. The lower level of annual pass holders are all blocked out this week. Even my family's level of pass is blocked out this week. It is only Inspire Keys, the highest level, that have access to the park. So a lot of locals will be prevented from coming. Even so, you can see some walkways here. You can see the crowd levels in and around this area. We walked by the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, and that was because it's currently broken, temporarily closed, so there was no ride wait time for us to look at there. We are going to head up towards Star Wars Galaxy's Edge next. Now, as we are approaching the queue for Rise the Resistance, we turned off the speed up. And that speed up is something we started during March's crowd updates. And you guys said you really enjoyed that. I used a speed up in a recent hotel video as well. So you guys can see the different crowd levels. It really helps to include those speed ups in there instead of just cutting when we're walking from one area to another. And it looks like this is 100 minutes, posted at 100 minutes for Rise the Resistance. The last time we did this crowd update was about mid-March, so it's mid-April now, about a month later, still spring break. The last one was titled Spring Break. We're going to title this one for Easter. I'm not actually going to be here on Easter, but it is, like I said, Easter week. And people always ask me what the crowds are like on Easter itself, and I have no answer for you because I'm never here on Easter. We're always spending that time with family. And you could take that for what you will. Maybe a lot of annual pass holders are doing the same thing. We're over at Amy's parents' house. We're having dinner, not Thanksgiving. That's another one where people always ask me too. But Thanksgiving and Easter, both of them are big family meal type holidays for us. And so we're usually never in the parks. This walkway is actually not looking too bad. No speed ups here because I'm talking. But yeah. It's not looking too bad. Now we'll go ahead and speed it up till we get over to Smuggler's Run. And down here at Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run, we are looking at a 50-minute standby wait. 50-minute standby wait. And it is approximately, if I had to guess, about 11:15 in the morning. 11:07 in the morning on Tuesday, April 15th. Usually I do these crowd updates at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but I am headed to a Padres game tonight, so I cannot film this a little bit later on when I typically would. I usually feel like by 11 a.m. we're looking at a good chunk of what the crowds are going to be like anyway. Usually by 11 a.m. the large bulk of people are going to be in here, especially since it's after hopping time. So anybody who's over at DCA with the hoppers coming over at this time as well. You start getting people leaving Disneyland, heading over to DCA while they're hopping. So I feel like it's a safe time to do a crowd update. I just turned off the camera real quick and turned it back on just to kind of reset I don't like when clips get really long. That last one had been running for quite a while, even though there was probably a jump at one point, and that's because there was some foul language that I had to cut out, but not from me, from one of the other guests I was passing. We'll go ahead and do a speed up now, all the way through to Fantasyland. Wow, pretty crazy long line up here at Casey Jr. Circus Train. It's extending all the way out back here. Let's go have a look over here for the line for Casey Jr. Circus Train and Dumbo. Usually these ride wait times aren't posted on the exterior, at least for Casey Jr., so I'm not going to know the exact wait time, but if I had to guess, considering they're all the way down here, they're utilizing an extension queue. I don't think I've ever seen them utilizing an extension queue before. That is probably going to be at least 25 to 30 minutes if I had to guess. Here's a look at the Dumbo line all the way down here, completely filled, completely full. Oh man, at least 40 for that. We'll see that when we get around the corner. But we're gonna go down that way first, and then we'll hop back and we'll get Dumbo in a second. If you are enjoying this video and finding it helpful, please hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help out the channel. And if you want to save money on your next Disneyland vacation, call my friends at Getaway today and tell them that SoCal Disney Dad sent you. Or click the link down in the description and use my coupon code to save on their already discounted hotel and ticket packages. King Arthur Carousel right here. Nobody in line for King Arthur Carousel, nobody on the ride, so I'm going to assume that it was just temporarily broken. We've got some maintenance staff members, maintenance cast members in there. So yes, this was just closed. Usually not more than 5 to 10 minutes though, even on busier days, so it shouldn't have been too bad. Over here at Pinocchio's, oh wow, look at that. Pinocchio's line all the way through back there under that little bridge thing. Wow, that's long for Pinocchio. That means Pinocchio might actually be like 20 minutes. Pinocchio usually never above 20 minutes. Usually hardly above 15, to be honest with you. But again, it's a busy spring break week, so we're going to expect longer lines. Here at Snow White, we have the entire queue filled. We have some people spilling out of the extension queue, or not extension queue, but just that spilling out of the switchbacks. Posted wait time here on the sign is 20 minutes. That's to be expected. It's probably a little bit longer, probably more like 25 to 30, if I had to guess. Over here at Peter Pan, the sign says 30 minutes, which there's definitely no way that it is 30 minutes. Completely filled, and including the ropes as well. So this is probably more like 45 to 50, if I had to guess. Usually does not go much higher than that. The line simply doesn't have the capacity for higher than that. Let's swing around this way. And Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is going to be up next. We are seeing just absolutely packed and completely full ride lines. Let's see how Mr. Toad's is. I see some people gathering here, but I'm not sure if they're actually in line or not. I don't think they are. I don't know what they're doing. But, I mean, it's still mostly fairly full. There's a very, very small switchback right here that's not filled. So that's completely full. Posted wait time there is 30 minutes. 30 minutes for Mr. Toad's. Yes, all of the Fantasyland rides right now are pretty much at max capacity. I have never seen the lines really much worse than what they currently are. 50 minutes, 50 over here for Dumbo. There's a little bit more room they can fill all the way up there, of course, but 50 is still pushing towards the max over here for Dumbo as well. Fantasyland definitely busy here at 11:15 in the morning on Tuesday, April 15th. Here is the line for Mad Tea Party now. This one, I mean, even when it's full, I feel like isn't usually much more than 10 to 15 minutes. So that one's not too bad. If you want a good short line, Mad Tea Party always a good one for you. Like I said, just the line capacities don't have much room for more than the amount of people that they have. Over here at Alice in Wonderland, again, same thing. Line is at full capacity. Usually full capacity here at Alice is around 40 to 45 minutes. You can't get much worse than that, but the line is completely packed out, completely full. Now we're going to round the corner, and we will swing back through and get Matterhorn in just a little bit. But I want to come over here to Storybook Land Canal Boats and hit up that first. We're going to go up to Toontown, then we'll come back and we'll get Matterhorn. Storybook Land Canal Boats also completely full at max capacity. Wow. Tons of rides today at max capacity. I was going to go the back way up to Toontown, but that's closed. There's a wall over there. We got to go this direction. I'm just going to let the camera run while we walk up there, and I'm going to actually mobile order some food, so don't mind me. Next up is Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin, hosted at a 45-minute standby wait. I cannot see the interior, but the last time that I went, and it was like 35-40 minutes posted, it wasn't that long, but it was also like an hour before the park closed, and so they might have just been trying to get guests to not ride that attraction. But I have waited 45 minutes before. That ride is typically fairly long. That ride has a long indoor queue though, so if it's a hot day, it's air conditioned and it is a nice reprieve from the hot sun. 40 minutes posted over here at Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. I doubt that it is because they're not using the outdoor extension queue. It's usually about 45 minutes when there are people out here, and if there are no people out here, I have a hard time believing it's even 40. Can't imagine unless they're just right inside, but we can't see that from out here, so there's no way to truly know. But again, that ride also, I feel like the line moves fairly quickly, so that's always a good thing for that. It's always moving. The rides that have lines that are always moving, even if they're 40 minutes, they're bearable, you know what I mean? Compared to a ride that's only 20 minutes but the line hardly moves, it's a struggle to want to wait in that line. We got one more ride over here, plus Mickey and Minnie's house that we're going to check out. Posted 30-minute standby wait time over here at Chippendale's Gadget Coaster, given where the line is, back of the line over there. It's probably fairly accurate. Definitely, this is one of those rides where 30 minutes is not worth it to me because this has the shortest ride time of any ride at Disneyland. The ride is only about 40 seconds long. Then we come over here to Mickey's house, which never seems to have an exterior line. We've got 30 minutes at Mickey's house, and then Minnie's house always has an exterior line. And 45 minutes for Minnie's house. Woo! 45 minutes going back there by the looks of it. We're going to be eating lunch up here for a different video at Cafe Daisy, so I'm going to turn the camera off a little bit and I'll catch back up with you once we exit Toontown and are headed back towards Matterhorn. Okay, here we are back on the path headed towards Matterhorn bobsleds, and we will once again navigate through the crowds, keep the camera on as much as possible so that you can see those crowds and you can see how busy these walkways are. Honestly, I've seen the walkways busier. This isn't like, you know, the worst that I've ever seen walkways. I mean, especially look at this right here. Wide open, nice and wide open. I think that's because there's some characters up that way. I can see Geppetto at least, and so that tends to cause a little bit of a bottleneck sometimes, which might have cleared up the path on our side of it. But we're going to turn this direction, and we are going to head to Matterhorn bobsleds, which was temporarily broken whenever I came through here last. Currently posted at a 30-minute wait with a line out the gate. I don't know if it's just out the gate because people are indecisive or if what, I don't know. But I can't even get by at the moment. We're just going to have to wait for this pathway to clear up. There we go. So let's see what the line looks like. Okay. Pit stop. Yeah, it's 30 minutes. They're not even using this all the way down here. If this is filled all the way down here, it's usually in the like 50 range. And this isn't even in use. It could be less than 30, given how short that line actually was. Might have just reopened, that's probably why. I did see it. Actually, I think I only saw it at like 30, 35 earlier. There's Space Mountain that was sitting at 55 when I looked. Rise of the Resistance has had the longest line today, every couple of times that I've looked. Let's poke over here. Look at Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage real quick. And then back to the path. A glance over here at the line for Finding Nemo submarine voyage. It tells me it's probably no more than a 20-minute wait. And it's currently posted at a 20-minute wait. Hit that one right on the head. Next up is going to be Autopia. I wish they'd do something with the Innoventions building straight ahead. They used to have the launch bay in there, and at least it was something you could go look around at. I don't even know why they haven't even opened that back up. Just for walking through. You know, just as a people eater. They say Disney needs more people eater attractions. They've been taking a lot of their shows away, which are good people eaters. Nothing up at the Fantasyland Theater. Nothing over at the Hyperion at DCA. Nothing in the Innoventions building. Posted at a 25-minute wait over here at Autopia. Let's go see what the situation is at Autopia. Bleacher section not being used. Round room is in use. Round room is over there off to the left. And we have 4 lines of cars currently running. So that's pretty solid. I bet you it's not even 25 minutes with the bleachers not in use and the round room is in use, but there's nobody up there. There's nobody up there. So, yeah, it should move pretty quickly. Over here, Space Mountain currently posted at a 65-minute wait. Cannot see that line. Not even going to bother walking down the pathway here today. Hyperspace Mountain, I should say, not Space Mountain. Hyperspace Mountain at a 65-minute wait. And so we will head this direction towards Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters, Astro Orbiter, and Star Tours. You might hear some Star Wars music in the background. That's because it is Season of the Force right now. What is Season of the Force? It is a Star Wars themed event that runs this time of year, usually through the month of April and into May. Of course, May the 4th being Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. And they don't necessarily change anything about Tomorrowland aside from Hyperspace Mountain instead of Space Mountain. And then they play the Star Wars music in Tomorrowland instead of typical Tomorrowland music. But a little bit of congestion through here. Let's see if we can work our way over to Astro Blasters. 30-minute posted standby wait for Astro Blasters. We'll get a better look at the line in just a moment. If I pop over here to Star Tours, we do see the exterior queue, the extension queue, open and active. 40-minute standby wait for Star Tours, currently posted at. And straight ahead, Astro Orbiter, not completely at max capacity, but very close to max capacity for the queue at 45-minute standby wait. That is fairly accurate. Once that is completely full, 45 minutes is about as high as Astro Orbiter goes. And again, almost completely full queue for Astro Orbiter. A lot of people today. Hop over here to Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters and eye the queue. What did we say it was? 30 minutes posted standby wait? The queue could go a little longer. This is all empty here. This is all Buzz Lightyear queue. But it's still going back there. But even then, it's not going as deep as it could go. So 30 minutes is probably accurate or slightly under, maybe 35. But 30 is probably a good guesstimate for Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters. Next up is Frontierland. Just taking a brief moment to check in and enter the land here. And we're going to resume the speed ups. And over here at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, looks like it is temporarily closed. Nobody in line. Big crowd gathered out here. Cast members blocking the entrance. Yep. That one is closed, all right. Looks like the Mark Twain riverboat is here and in operation. I did see the sailing ship Columbia going around the rivers of America earlier. I don't know if it's in operation or if they were just taking it out of the dock for a ride. I did see some either like maintenance or painting crew or something like that on it earlier when it was docked at Fowler's Harbor. We'll see if it's back in Fowler's Harbor in just a moment. They might have just been taking it on a test run. Let's go this way. Might be a little less crowded this direction for us. Maybe. There's the Davy Crockett Explorer canoes. We'll come by Pirates of the Caribbean in just a little bit. We're going to bypass it temporarily to go up to Haunted Mansion. Fowler's Harbor is empty. That means that the sailing ship Columbia is in operation today. Sailing ship Columbia, part of our Disneyland ride rankings polls on YouTube community posts. Currently in operation. A lot of you said you've never ridden it because it never seems to be running. Today, it is. And here we are over at the Haunted Mansion. Posted wait time is 60 minutes. I could have swore it just said 75. So I think I just witnessed it drop from 75 to 60. The last time when I rode this, they weren't even using the extension over here, but they are today. Absolutely, 60-minute wait. You can see the line here for the Haunted Mansion. Of course, we did an about face, and now we are going to head back towards Pirates of the Caribbean. We'll weave our way through the crowds. I did see it was posted at a 45-minute standby wait, so when we get over there, know that it was 45 as you look at the crowds. And here it is. We'll slow down and let you have a look at this line. So long, it's blocking the pathway going up onto the bridge. The other day, they trial ran removing Lightning Lane from Pirates of the Caribbean. That was just for the weekend. Now it's back on. Pirates of the Caribbean was only supposed to have Lightning Lane while Haunted Mansion was closed. It was the replacement for the Haunted Mansion Lightning Lane not being accessible. Now that Haunted Mansion is open, Pirates of the Caribbean is supposed to come off Lightning Lane. They were testing whether they could this past weekend. Hopefully, we'll see it come off Lightning Lane in the near future. Why do I say hopefully? Well, as someone who doesn't really ever buy Lightning Lane, it's nice when these rides that don't really need it. Pirates of the Caribbean might have a long line now, but it's mostly because of Lightning Lane. Not because it is popular, but mind you, it shouldn't really go much above 30 minutes. That crazy long standby line, that congestion, the congestion aspect of that standby line because of Lightning Lane. So it really does need to come off of it. Jungle Cruise. Oh, extension building there in the use up top. 30 minutes posted. Could be a little longer. Usually 30 minutes whenever only this room is in use. The extension room back there in use definitely could be longer than 30 minutes. And that's it. I'll continue walking through Adventureland. But literally, that was it. That was all the rides. Indiana Jones we just bypassed, currently closed for refurbishment. It's a Small World earlier we bypassed. It is currently closed for refurbishment. Those are the only two rides that are intentionally closed for refurbishment. We're actually going to go through here. It's sometimes a little easier to cut through a store and then come out this way than it is to go through the bulk of the crowds back that way. And have a look over here at Walt Disney's Enchanted Tiki Room. Not a whole lot of people in there. Plenty of room left. Plenty of room. Go this way. We'll actually keep the camera on a little bit longer. We'll head down Main Street. I'm on my way out. I'm done. Done filming for the day. Got to head back for a Padres game. Said that in a couple of videos, so I'm not going to multiple Padres games. I think this is the first video that is going to drop where I mention the Padres game. And so if I mention it in other videos, it does not mean that I went to 3 or 4 Padres games. just meant that I filmed 3 or 4 videos on the same day. But I do want to show you Main Street. Main Street, USA, iconic Main Street. You can see the crowd levels here. I always feel like anytime I try to leave, like right now, I don't know what time it is. It can't be much more than 11:50 to noon. It's at 11:55 according to one of the clocks that I see, 11:55. Every time I walk this direction this time of day, be it for hopping or for leaving to go home already, I always feel like a fish swimming upstream. I'm going the wrong direction. And not too bad though, right now. Oh, wide open. Just opened up for us. Let's take a little detour now. Come over here real quick. Talk about Easter at Disneyland. That's what this is. A video about the crowds at Easter at Disneyland. Over here in this little corner, right before we exit the park, or rather right as soon as you entered the park, got Mr. Easter Bunny. Mr. Easter Bunny doing a meet and greet over there.
Mr. Easter Bunny going once, going twice.
Oh, looks like they're closing up the line for Mr. Easter Bunny. He'll be back out. Mr. Easter Bunny meeting and greeting at Disneyland this week. And here we are. Hello. At the front of the park. The exit of the park, because that's what I'm using it for. Here we go. I'm gonna leave right now. And that's it for our time here today at Disneyland, giving you a crowd update for the week of Easter. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out. Click this video to keep watching. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.